Oh, sorry. Okay, we can do another one.
Guys, I'm gonna let Miku do the silly intro. Miku, do it. She sings the song! Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Kids. Today and only today, that's right, your boy has gotten a nice exclusive hands-on with Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I know, thank you. I guess, yes sir. Applause for later. Let's go, hashtag, you know what it is. But yes, so I got a nice opportunity to go check out the Gamescom build of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I actually got to check it out in New York, which is why I didn't end up going to Gamescom, because they were like, hey, this is happening in New York. Want to just do this in New York? I was like, okay, cool. And not just that, on Friday when the network test is going on, I'm going to be on the Sonic team stream, what's called playing the game. So your boy is moving up in this world. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the love, support, and everything you guys always give me. And before some people say, hashtag ad, hashtag free product, hashtag the payroll, I wish I was getting paid. But no, of course, today we are here to talk about an updated build of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I got to try out quite a few new things in this latest build as opposed to Summer Games. So I guess now I've gotten to play the game 3 separate times. The initial network test that we all played, Summer Games Fest, and now here the pre-launch build effectively. So make sure you subscribe to your boy, lock in, and let's get right into this. All right, let's start with our first initial thoughts on things now, you know, that I'm on round 3 of playing this game before we enter the network test. I still love it, man. It is still super fun. I know it's nothing crazy, right? Like there's a lot of new things I want to talk about. I'm going to be doing them in specific orders. But the more I play the game at these events or whatever, the more I'm like, I just want it now. You know, now I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, I'm done being teased with little gameplay moments. You know what I mean? Which, you know, we're about to go through again with the network test this weekend. I just want the game, right? But the game did feel more polished. I got to try the new 3 maps that they showed, which is the Grand Coco map, right, which has the White Space, North Star Island, and Kronos, which we're going to talk a lot about. But just initial thoughts, I got to try out MIKU, I got to try out some more extreme gear. The game is feeling more polished, it looks better, and I'm just, I'm so excited. All right, let's do this in order. The first thing I want to talk about are the first 3 new tracks. So the build effectively had the same cups that I had available in Summer Games Fest, and so I did end up replaying this. I actually got to go to the event with Choctopus. Shout out to Chuck. So if you notice some of the gameplay is good versus some of the gameplay is bad, just know the cups where I got first place were mine, and the cups where we didn't were Chalk's gameplay. But yeah, let's start with the new Grand Prix that I got to try. So on the menu screen, again, it shows that there are 7 Grand Prix on top, and then this Grand Coco one is like, I guess, the bonus one because it doesn't have like a little Chaos Emerald symbol on it. I can't pinpoint what the other 2 cups are. Like, I don't know if like they're just locked, and when I beat the Grand Coco Cup, or we all do, like, it's gonna open up and we get something. Is it gonna be like a remix cup? Is it DLC that's just not open yet? I have no idea what those 2 are. But let's get right into this with the first of the 3 new tracks I got to try today. Kronos Island, baby. Oh my god, when I got on this track, I was so excited. By the way, I had to be so quiet when like those not quiet, but like when we covered the leaks and stuff where we saw Kronos at the event, I had to bite my tongue, like, yeah man, there's Kronos. But yes, Kronos Island looks fantastic. I've seen some people online criticize look, but I think in the final build it looks amazing. It's just cool to see what they ended up doing, right? So the music is awesome, right? So on lap 1, right, it's going to play the Kronos Island theme, right? You know, a bit of a remix sound, upbeat vibe. And then when you get to lap 3, after you've done like, you know, the CrossWorlds, it plays a remix of I'm Here. Listen to this, bro. so so good. And what I love about it is I wish it was more of a big medley around the entire island, but I think they do cover the things of the island that like stick out in your mind. So like, for example, you'll start out in the open field, right? You will go under like the big bridge, you know the big bridge on the island, the one where like you could do the wall run in, right? You're gonna have a segment where you are driving up the tower. Obviously, you know, the first iconic, and I don't know, you know what I mean, the first big tower that you climb, you get to drive up that segment in a big curve. And then one of the smartest things about this map is you get to ride on squid, right? So like, you'll get to that tower of the tower, and then you'll start the squid segment where you're on him and squid is racing through, and then boom, you get off him, you're in an open field. You see some of the big enemy bosses, like I know they have the giant, I don't want to call it, the big enemies, you know what I'm saying, with the freaky names that look kind of freaky, but you'll see them around, and that'll be really it. But it's like, if you look around, there's Coco's going on. I just really love the vibe, the music of the track. I just feel like they did a really good job with Kronos. Like I said, I would have loved if it was like a medley around the entire island of Kronos, because I feel like I have that island like ingrained in my mind, but I feel like they got the highlights. I mean, everybody remembers Squid. You remember that first tower, right? You remember, just the open field. You see the Cocos, the big bridge. Like, I feel like they sort of segmented the part that makes the most sense, and it's cool just to see the island in HD. It's also a fun track. I also like that you're driving on like the metal ground, that was carved by Eggman. I guess there's one part where you go on like the corner of the island driving through, which is really fun. So overall, like I had a great time driving through Kronos. It's awesome. But I cannot get over how good the I'm Here remix sounds like, bro. It's so good, man. It's so good. The second racetrack that takes place in the Coco Cup is the North Star Islands. This was a fun surprise. I like how this cup is just like the modern Sonic Cup. I thought this was really clever. So instead of just taking, one level from Sonic Superstars, it ends up being a medley, right? So you end up going through the initial first level of Sonic Superstars into the, you go like to an underground section where you see a bit of the jungle zone, which I thought was really cool. And then you fly up to the sky level, that one act sky level in the game, onto the factory area, right? And then ending off with the desert. And so I think they did a pretty good job with this one. I like how the track is designed. It's pretty simple, right? Overall, like the layout's not too crazy, but I do like that they made it sort of a medley of these Superstar tracks. I would have liked if they had picked like Golden Capital, or even like, that pixel arty voxel area that stands out a lot in Superstars. But for the most part, like when you get to each distinct area, especially if you just played the game much, you'll recognize it. It's cool. I like the remix they go with. Like, they obviously remix the main theme, which is really good. You hear like the da dun da dun da dun dun, but it's like, it's more upbeat, it's more fun. Like, I like how they ended up doing this stage. While it's not necessarily my favorite level, I wish they had done more with the factory area. Like, the factory area sort of ends with this part where like you're driving and then there's just like a big mallet in the middle of it, but I guess you can go left and right to dodge it. But I don't know, I feel like they definitely could have done like a little bit more with the North Star Island level, but regardless, it's at least pretty and it's at least a fun layout. And third new track that hit the grounds was White Space. Now, White Space is so cool because like, it's almost like, if you look at it right from this gameplay, it's literally like they just took the level and plopped it in, and then they were like, here's your car. Like, you even start at the segment where you first, use the 5 Chaos Spears to open the gate from Shadow Generations, right? And oh my god, I love the music here. It does it lets you listen to the White Space theme, which, the White Space theme in general is All Hail Shadows theme, like, more haunting, like it's like da na 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 na. Now, but you'll hear it a bit more like upbeat, remixed in the style that you've been hearing a lot for this game. But yeah, I do like this level because again, you end up driving around the White Space. You'll see like all of it, like if you look around, you're gonna notice it one to one. They even do like a clever water section where when you go through the water section, it's meant to, you know, reminisce, you know, when you were using the squid ability in the game. Not squid ability, what's the other one? The water one, whichever. But yeah, it's meant to mimic that area of it, and the layout's really cool. But what I love a lot about this one, I think stands out over Chronos and North Star, is when you get to the third lap, like the big end version of it, right? It all turns like the evil red version of white space, and the track layout changes. Instead of being on the ground of white space, you're actually flying upwards, like the segment from the original Shadow Generations where you're going up to Radical Highway. You end up actually having like a flying section where you're going upwards. You're seeing gates of Space Colony Arc all around. Like, it's such a good version of it. You'll hear like a more intense version of All Hail Shadow. Like, it's just so cool. I thought this was the most clever like change that they did for a level, and like one of the like smartest uses of like a world. And then, you know, for those of you that don't know, just like I played at Summer Games Fest, the way Grand Prix works is that when you get to the last race, it's a medley through all three racetracks. So it's cool to go through like Chronos one lap with I'm Here playing, and then the North Star Islands that's super upbeat, and then the white space that's completely red. Like, I just thought all the stuff that they did there was super cool, bro. And if that is the final cup of the game, I think that's a pretty good finale. Again, I still want to know what the other two are. But yeah, and again, there's still tracks we don't know. Like, a bunch of the cups were locked. The cups that were open were tracks that I've played all before. You know, it's all the ones that you've seen before. I'll still show a bit of it as it's going on here. And, you know, you still get the mall. That looks fantastic. You know, you still get Water Palace. That's awesome. You know, you get Sand Road. You get the garden area that we've seen and played through a few times. But yeah, like all the other levels were the same. Even this build, unless I got really bad RNG, I did not get any new CrossWorlds, right? The ones I played here were ones that I had available at Summer Games Fest. Like, you know, I saw the what's it called, the Sonic Unleashed one, right? When you're in what the hell is the level, bro? The level with the giant eagle. Of course, I'm gonna blank now because I need to know the information. You know how it is. But yeah, all the cyberspaces I went to were the ones we've done before. I went to the fire one, the bingo one, and I think all the tracks are still looking fantastic. I think even like based on what we know now, it's like there's only a few tracks left hidden, and I wonder what they're gonna be. And the really nice thing about revisiting some of these tracks that I played is I noticed that the audio and music mixing is just better overall. Like, I can hear the music a bit better, and I feel like, you know, because of the item balance being better, I feel like playing through the courses felt a little bit more enjoyable. I didn't notice any changes in terms of like how they're laid out, but there is something about like how the music is presented in production that feels a little bit more polished. Now I feel like I'm playing the complete thing. And also, the game setting was on Sonic Speed. I couldn't tell if this was using the dynamic camera setting that we just found out about. The game did feel like, you know, faster and more close up. Again, that could just be a placebo effect, but I, of course, was trying out Extreme Gear, and we're going to talk about Extreme Gear and all that stuff. But yeah, I felt like the speed, the third difficulty speed, because I know it's like slow, normal, super, like Sonic Speed, and then there's the fourth, which is like, would be your 200cc, that was still locked. We didn't get to try it. I know they have mirror mode in there, but yeah, for the most part, I thought the speed was still really good. I feel like Sonic Speed is the perfect sweet spot for speed. We're going to see if maybe, you know, the Supersonic one is like way better and everyone's gonna want to do that, but for now, like, I was cool and content with the speed. But let's talk about characters, right? Because in this build, I went for Minyo Chalk. I tried to pick characters that were not playable before in other builds. So I tried out Sage first and foremost, because I know a lot of people have wanted to, you know, to see Sage in action. And I gotta say, bro, Sage is awesome. Listen to her little interaction she has with Sonic.
Good to see you again. Ready for a little friendly competition?
In these circumstances, we are at odds. Friendly is not an option. I prefer antagonistic.
And also, look how cute her win animation is.
Proof of my superior design.
And I felt the need. I know a lot of people wanted to see her in the Giganto car, but I'm a bit of an extreme gearhead, so I thought it was funnier to see her in extreme gear, and I was absolutely right. Seeing Sage rock extreme gear is extremely funnier and way better than I could have ever imagined. I tried to go for extreme gear for everything, but for the most part, I really liked Sage. You know, playing as her, I thought her little trick animations were really good. But yeah, overall, she's super fun. She's super cute. She's exactly how you'd think Sage would play, and I can't wait to see all her interactions with everybody. Another character we got to try out was Vector, right? Vector's rival for the Grand Prix was actually Storm. Here, I'll let you guys listen to the interaction between them.
You ain't got nothing on me, detective. I'm gonna win this race, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Oh, yes, there is. I can win and send you slinking back to your boss.
Really love that segment between those two, you know, just like, and this is just has been the exciting thing about this game is like, a lot of these interactions aren't just like, hey, you, I'm gonna get you. It's like, they'll refer to their exact thing. Like, they'll be like, hey, like, detective, like, that's cool that he knows him. And then, you know, it's cool seeing Vector be like, I'll send you back to your boss. Like, I like the little additions that don't make it feel, because, like, that's, like, my least favorite thing when I play, like, you know, a Dragon Ball game or whatever fighting game, when it's just, like, generic intro code, like, I won't let you have this, right? Versus, like, here, getting these personal touches. But we do need to talk about the GOAT, MIKU, right? MIKU Beam over here. Now, there's been a lot of concern and question about which characters are gonna have voice acting. I didn't try Ichiban, but Ichiban did not have a voice on the character select screen, but MIKU distinctly does have her voice. So first of all, like I played in the beginning of the video, she hums the main theme, which is really cool. But not just that, in the races, she has her voice. You know what I mean? Like when she'll do it, she's like, oh, wow, yeah. Like she'll do her like little MIKU sounds, and maybe that's a good sign for these characters, that these DLC characters that are gonna maybe have voices and they're just adding them later on. But yeah, I was super happy to hear MIKU, and MIKU is absolutely gonna be one of my mains. I almost wonder if she's gonna be in the launch game, because I'm like, why would she just be in this beta or like, you know, this CrossWorlds early build that I got to try if she's just not gonna be like launch raw? So I feel like she's ready. I mean, if you look at the animations I have with her and everything, she looks pretty ready. And yeah, obviously because in Grand Prix she didn't have a rival, she didn't say anything, but you got, you know, a generic Rouge line, which I guess it'll make sense that the characters at least have a generic line with them. And Rouge, oh my god, I love you. But I really do love that extra touch of MIKU singing the main theme. I just think that's like that's the type of stuff that I want to see with all the DLC characters. Just that, like, that little touch that makes them stand out. Oh my god, dude. And Metal Sonic. Of course, we had to put Metal Sonic to the test. And first of all, he looks fantastic. Like, I just love how his appearance in the game is Metal Sonic. Even his like trick animations, look at them. And of course, as you'd expect, his opening rivalry, I actually ended up getting Big the Cat, and I guess you could listen to exactly what you think he would say.
Sonic's pretty good at fishing. Are you good at fishing too?
Yeah, well, you thought he was gonna pull the hey. But obviously, I can't wait to see what everyone has to say to Metal Sonic. But yeah, no, overall, Metal Sonic's tricks were super cool. Like, obviously, if you like Metal Sonic, you're gonna like playing him. He just looks right. He looks like he does some of his, like, iconic, like, artwork poses, which I feel like a lot of the characters end up doing. And his speed was really good. Another really fun one was Silver. I ended up picking Silver, and his rival was Espio. And man, their opening animation's really cool. But what's special about it is I felt like Silver's voice direction was notably better. Listen to this.
A pleasure to see you again. Unfortunately, we are fated to be adversaries for the duration of this race.
I'm all about fighting destiny. But if you want a spirited competition, I'll give it my all. Brace yourself.
When I heard that at the event, I was like, oh, okay, shit, okay. I like this. I like this a little bit more. Like, you know, it feels like they're giving him a bit more of a direction with Silver. It might be a placebo effect thing, but I don't know. I felt like he sounded better and less of a dork because, you know, he's been accused a little bit of sounding like a dork recently, but it feels like with this that they've honed in a bit more of his, you know, voice. And obviously, I like him talking with SPO. SPO still sounds fantastic. And man, Silver rocking extreme gear just looks cool. It feels right, but something really cool about Silver is listen to what he says when he loses a race.
It was no use.
Yeah, you like that. I know you like that. I know, I like that. But more importantly, listen to what plays when he wins a cup.
Now you see what I can really do.
Yeah, every night I will be with you. Hey, just little stuff like that, you know, seeing the characters like themes play when they win the cups. Like I feel like I've talked about this for a while. It's like I hate how recent like kart racers, you know, not to call out others, but in general, all kart racers have sort of slimmed down the like ending ceremony. Like I don't know, it used to be just a cool thing to see characters on the podium waving or like holding the flag or doing a little win animation, and it feels like it's been swapped recently to just like, hey, here's your cool trophy, like, yeah, you got first. Where it's like getting a nice little animation, just seeing, you know, do a little celebration. It's cool. And before we actually end up leaving the event, I actually did want to grab one more animation for a character that probably no one would have picked, and that was CHARMY. And I thought CHARMY was super cute. Check this one out.
This is your first time at one of these things, right? Oh, don't worry. Just follow my lead and you'll do fine. No way! I'm gonna win this and get all the prizes! There are prizes, right? I want prizes!
Yeah, it's actually super cute. I love how they ended up doing that interaction. I was like, you know what? I feel like CHARMY might end up being that character that I'm like, you know what? No one's gonna play you. I'll lock in, buddy. And yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, this build had a lot of characters. Pretty much the entire roster of the Sonic cast, at least. And I can't wait to hear all the different interactions and all that. But I did want to pick for this build characters that I normally didn't play. But I just, again, I can't help but feel like I really loved the like character animations for Tricks. I liked the voice acting and everything about him. Now, let's talk about a bit of the gameplay changes, right? You know, gameplay, extreme gear, how balancing has changed. I do think animations felt smoother overall, you know, whether it's bumping into someone, whether it's the trick animations. Like, I felt like those things felt like, you know, they were a bit better. But I do obviously want to talk about extreme gear because this is something that, you know, people are super excited for. Now, it's important to remember with extreme gear, you don't have as much, you know, leeway when you're doing drifts. It's kind of like, think of it like bikes in Mario Kart, right? Where like you're like a lot more inwards drifting. Like when you do it, like you're doing a lot more sharp turns and you're not gonna get a lot of mileage out of like, you know, drifting hella early to get a big curve. When you're drifting with extreme gear, you are drifting, but the boost you get out of it is just so satisfying. And I think like that's gonna be a big reason why a lot of people end up picking extreme gear. But I will say, like, I don't know, I love extreme gear, but seeing, you know, Chalk playing the carts, or even when I played it, you know, in earlier builds, I'm like, there's still like a joy to playing the carts in the game. They definitely feel cooler, and obviously that's partially also because of the customization. But you can even, I got a few extreme gear options, you know, you can mess with them a little bit, but for the most part they are boost based, right? Where like, you know, the more boosts you're getting, the faster you're gonna go, which makes a lot of sense. You know, there's a lot of moments where you just catch up to players so fast because you've got extreme gear on. And of course, this was a concern all the way back in the beta, item balancing, right? But that was also the #1 feedback thing. Everybody that came out of that beta originally was like, guys, it's too much. Like the stuff going on here with like the scissor attack and everything is too much. Now, granted, we need to play this game properly with people to really see how the balancing is going to be. But I will say, for the time I spent, I never felt like items were too much this time around. You know, I never even once got the slicer, like myself, right? I felt like my car barely got sliced in half. That happened a few times. Like, it definitely felt like, you know, items were still cool and fun, but it definitely felt toned down from the beta, because that really was the biggest problem with that. It's just like left and right, those little spinners were causing chaos. I think that was like their #1 feedback, because like I said, I barely saw that thing in the entire race. Again, we need to see this, you know, when I'm not playing with CPUs and it's fully online and everything, right? But I will say it was dramatically clear that items were not like the big issue they were originally. They're still there. They're still obviously going to give you a boost, a better moment for you, you know, and your character and all this stuff. But it's handled much better. You can definitely tell that they toned it in a way where the items are still things you'd want to use, screw over other people. But like, if you got that skill advantage, you're still gonna be good. And we also got to try a bit more of the customization in the game. And man, we got a few of the new different card parts that looked really cool. But there were even more colors for the characters. I love, by the way, this is a small touch, the DLC characters get card colors that you can use, right? So like, you can use the MIKU card colors and Ichiban card colors on other characters. And oh my god, dude, the MIKU color scheme is gonna be one that I rock a lot. I just love that white, blue and pink aesthetic. Like, I just think that looks so cool. So applying that to like, you know, extreme gear and other things is gonna be like a super fun aspect of it. You know, they even have the colors there. We actually had the auras available. So like, you know, we've heard that the game has auras. So I got those available. You have your horns now with like different like sounds and visual effects, which is pretty cool. And like I said, you know, this is something we've talked about when we've seen trailers about customization. It really does feel like everybody racing and playing is at least going to look different, you know, just because of everything you're gonna pick, whether it's the sticker, whether it's the car color, you know, whether it's the type of shine you pick your car color. Like, it's going to be a big difference seeing what everyone goes with, including the gadgets, right? We didn't mess around too much with the gadgets this time around because we just kind of wanted to get to the races. But for the most part, I really did think, you know, that they were still super cool, right? We tried the drifting one, we tried the boost one, the attack one. Like, I still think this game overall is, you know, using the gadget system super well. I did also get a look at the time trial mode, and it's pretty standard stuff, you know, just kind of going through it. I like that there's a ranking system now, so that, you know, it encourages you to play kind of like a Sonic level where you're trying to get an S rank for doing super well. And you see like your ghost of the opponent, and shows you like maybe like an optimized path, like with the arrows. I think maybe that might be your old path that you took. But yeah, so pretty standard stuff for the time trial for now. But really, you know, now that we've talked about all the individual aspects, I want to just go back to a bit of just the game itself, man. Like, I think this game is still gonna be so dope. You know, my overall thoughts coming out of this event are just like, I want to play more. Now that I've, you know, like I said in the beginning, played this side like 3 separate events or times or things, every time I finish it, I'm like, I want to play more. Every time I play it, it feels like it's more polished, it's more refined, and it seems so much fun in terms of an addiction rate. Like, I feel like it's a game we're gonna be spending hours on hours playing, right? Especially because like, I'm a Sonic dork at the end of the day, so I know I'm gonna want to end up like playing a bunch of the characters in the game and not just sticking to, you know, 1 or 2. Like, there's gonna be that level to the game itself, right? And I think the track design is still super good, whether it's the new tracks that I got to play or it's some of the older ones that were in the build that I've played before. Like, I think this game is just shaping up to be something really special. I mean, obviously they've been treating it as so, and again, we're gonna get to play a lot more of it this weekend with the network test. But I did want to say overall, coming out of this, my thoughts are I'm just more excited for it. You know, there was nothing that, you know, really blew me away since last time, but again, it's a kart racer at the end of the day. Like, you kind of know what you're getting into. We did have access to the time trial mode and the you know, the race park. They didn't tell us really to go for race park because they said it's more multiplayer focused, so I didn't end up doing that because I was like, you know what, like, if we're doing this, let's get character interactions, let's just get through the race tracks that we want to, you know, get the trick systems and all that stuff, you know, see the different character dialogues, interactions and all that. And I think, you know, that was more important and more special there. I just think now, whether it's the characters or a farming, whether it's going through the CrossWorlds, whether it's going through the main tracks, like, there are so many things to love about this game, and there's going to be so many memories we're going to have with it. I'm just like really happy with what we've got here, and I want everybody, of course, in the comment section below to tell me what track excites excites them the most? Which character do you want to play the most from what we've seen? What are you happy about? You know what I'm saying? From everything I've shown you here today, and we're talking about it, yapping about, what gets you the most excited? Personally, for me, it's the characters. Like, I just want to see all the tricks. I want to see all the different character animations. As of, this video, there's been a crazy, video going on the timeline of like an interaction between Rouge and Sonic. That's wild, but
Don't get distracted, handsome. We're here to race, so keep your eyes on the road.
Come on, you're talking to a pro here. I know how to handle the curves like an expert.
yeah, no, I am overall super happy, super excited for the game. And that's really it, guys. Thank you all for watching. You're the best. And yeah, of course, stay tuned for more here, for more coverage. We're going to do a live reaction soon when it's out to the Sonic Racing CrossWorlds animation that's going to pull up. There's going to be a lot of gameplay based on the beta. There's a lot of stuff to do. It never stops. It never stops. Thank you all for watching. You guys are the best. And of course, I will see you all next time. Peace out.